Hey everybody, this is West Atlanta Bourbon Society. I'm Kevin. We're back again. We're going to do a midday post this week. We got two bottles that we're tasting for you today. They are the OKI 12 year and the OKI 10 year. We just got these in, and they were purchased. And when we purchased them, the wonderful people who sold them to us at secondary market price went ahead and gave us sample shots of the 12 year and the 10 year. So we decided to go ahead and do a post and put it out there so we can taste and review these bourbons and see if we actually want to pop the top on these bad boys or not. I'm wearing a white t-shirt today so that I can actually put these glasses up to my shirt and you can see the color of the whiskey. Just to give you some information about OKI, OKI stands for Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. The story is that it was distilled in Indiana, bottled in Kentucky, and loved in Ohio. The gentleman who started this brand, his name is Ken Lewis. He's the former owner of Party Source liquor stores in Cincinnati. Started a new Riff Distillery in Newport, Kentucky. While he's making his juice, he has sourced both of these from MGP. So they are MGP distillate, both 10 year and 12 year. These happen to be the small batch. They do make single barrels, but for the purposes of what we could afford and what we could find at a decent price, we decided to get small batches. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. Again, these are Midwest Grain Products or MGP juice that's in these bottles. So we'll start with the 10 year. It has the usual smell you'd smell from bourbon, the caramel, a little bit of a burn on the nose on the 10 year. This is a high rye or 35% rye bourbon, so it is a high rye. Smell some of the fresh apples and caramel, fresh fruits. The color on it, as you can see by my shirt, is copper or honey colored. Now we'll go to the 12 year. Smells almost exactly the same, except no burn on the nose. You can tell this is a little younger. The burn, the ethyl alcohol that gets right in your nose. Sorry. As far as color goes, they're almost the same color. This one maybe has a slight tint, but not enough to be able to tell the difference in. So, all right. Now we're going to go to taste. And this is a neat taste to start off with. Somewhat sweet. Not too sweet though. Not as sweet as I usually like it. It's not as sweet as the Heaven Hill products or the William Heaven Hill that we previously did a couple weeks ago. Not a lot of burn. Not real viscous, more thin. Thin to the mouthfeel. Again, it has kind of watery texture to it. It does taste sweet. It does taste good. It tastes like 10-year bourbon. Should taste. It is an MGP product, so it's probably right on there with everything else that MGP makes. I'll go to the 12 year now. Let me wash my palate out with a little water. There is a difference. This is much more early. It is going to be a little more spicier, a little more heat, a little more bite. This one you can taste that it's a little more aged, caramely. You can taste the oak a little better in that one than you can in this one. Yeah, definitely the winner. Which is crazy because in 2 years to see the difference between a 10-year and a 12-year product, for the 2 year difference to be so vast. As always, we will add a little bit of water. Now the proof on this one is 97.75. I don't know what the proof is of what we have in the glass because it was a sample from another bottle. But I'm guessing it's probably about the same in the 90s. This one here is 97.8, which is a 0.05 difference, I would guess. So, again, I don't know what the bottle that we actually got these from. I don't know what the actual proof is of that, but I'm guessing it's somewhere in the same realm. So we say 90 to 100. These are a small batch, and there was about 200 to 800 bottles made in this batch. I'm sure probably one of the bottles was from this batch. Again, I don't have that information. It wasn't written on the samples. We're thankful to get the sample, so I'll add 3 or 4 drops of Kentucky limestone water just to open that up a little bit. This one has kind of lost the smell. Although it still burns, I still smell the alcohol burn. I don't smell the actual richness of the juice. A little bit of sweet, hint of maybe vanilla. Go to the 12 year. This one has lost a little bit of its smell too. Although you can tell this is a little more tannic than that one. It has a little more wood smell to it. Both have a hint of the vanilla. We'll now go to the taste of the 10 year. Well, that completely made that bland. I would have rather had that without water. This one retained a little more of the flavor. But again, the water really changed it. It did make it a little more acidic, a little more tart. It is less sweet. It did cut the sweetness out. Made it a little more watery than it already was. This one was a little more watery. This one, on the other hand, was a little more viscous, but it wasn't viscous in the sense of a William Heaven Hill or any of the other bourbons that we've tried. Definitely without water would have been the way I would have enjoyed this. It's it's basic MGP juice. I mean, it's good. It's not bad by any means. Uh, I Would I buy it? At retail price, yes. Secondary, no. Um, hmm. Rating. Let's talk about rating. So on the 10 year, I would give it like a maybe 74, 75. It's still a good sipping bourbon in my opinion. It's a good everyday bourbon. If it was available every day in your area, it's a good everyday bourbon. Cute little bottle, looks kind of like an Elmer E.H. Taylor bottle, real slender. Nice little bottle. The 12 year would be more my preference. I would put the 12 year at 78. Well, no. I'd put the 12 year would be in the 80s. Yeah, definitely. I'd probably put the 12 year at an 85, 86. Um, let me taste them again to make sure. Let me change that. I'm gonna give this an 81 and this an 87. Um, just because the juice does taste good. I mean, it does have a good taste to it. Has a good mouthfeel to it. It is definitely very, a little sweet, caramely. It's MGP juice, so it's good juice. It's juice that MGP has been making bourbon for a long time. Their juice is very, very good. Um, just as well as the 12 year. The 12 year is very good as well. But I just think the 12 year, there's something about 12 years. When a bourbon hits 12 years, it tends to change in a very, very good way. If we were looking at a scale or chart graph at 12 years, it would start doing that. I love the Old Forester birthday bourbon at 12 years. I'm a fan of Brown Foreman and Heaven Hill products. At 12 years, their products astronomically change. This though, there's a definite change here as well, and I like the change. Is it as sweet as I'd like for my profile? No, but it is very good. And it's a very good, drinkable, approachable bourbon. It's in no means is a drain pour. That's why I bumped it up from the 70s to the 80s, to be honest, because giving it anything below an 81 would be unfair to the bourbon. It is a good bourbon. I just, on the 12 year, it just does something at 12 years that makes it astronomically better, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I like that 12 year. I could drink that every day. That could be like a Weller 12 to me. It's something that's easy to drink. And actually, now that it's sat in the glass a little longer, the alcohol had burned off of it. So maybe if these were purchased, I would decant it or leave the top off for a little while to let some oxidation occur. Just sitting in the glass during these 14 minutes that we're at now, it actually has gotten remarkably better. I'd probably put it in an 89 now, and this one more like an 84, 85, just because of how it sat. Again, I'm sorry for changing my numbers so many times. It's just, I really want to love this product, and I mean, I like it. It's just, I have a certain profile, certain taste profile that I like, and I was trying to see if it fit into that. I think the 12-year fits into that more than the 10-year. Like I said, there's something about 12 years it just astronomically changes. It has more oak, more tannin. But those that don't like the oak, those that don't like the tannin, they probably wouldn't like the 12. They would like more of the 10 or more of the heat. It is a high rye, so it's got lots of flavor. It's 35% rye. It's going to have the flavor. It's going to have what it needs. I would prefer the 12-year. If I were given these taste samples and asked which one to pick, the 12-year would be my choice. It tastes comparable to a 12-year product, not quite Old Forester Birthday Bourbon, because that has a complex taste to it. But if it was a mass-produced birthday bourbon in a larger scale, this would probably be comparable to that. It is sweet. It is good. So it's well worth the MSRP. Struggling with the secondary pricing on it at 160 or more. I don't know. I've seen this one go for 180. I've seen this one for 160. Maybe this one for 160. I would probably bite at anything under 140 on this one, and about 120 on that one. But they're good. They're fantastic bourbons. Well worth the investment if you want to open it. It's a great sipping bourbon, great drinking bourbon, everyday bourbon. It's not a special occasion bourbon. It's definitely not a pappy by any means, but it is a pretty good, solid bourbon. So appreciate the samples. Thank you so much, and we hope you appreciate the post. Keep drinking bourbon with us, and as Mike has coined, if your glass is empty, you're a step behind. We hope to see you soon. We will be reviewing more bottles shortly. We're sorry we had such a hiatus in reviews. We just have been very busy lately, and we haven't had a chance to review bottles. So we'll be putting more bottles on here and doing more focused reviews as a group. I just want to pop this midweek out since I had these two little samples. I wanted to try them, and I wanted to review them for you as I tried them. So I haven't tried them before. That's why this post is a little long, because I haven't pre-tasted them and know what they taste like to be able to talk about them. I actually tasted them right here when I'm tasting with you. So it was almost as live as it could get without being a live post. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you so much. And as always, Ken Lewis, OKI, New Riff Distillery, if y'all want to send us samples of your single barrels, we'd be happy to go ahead and review those. Please send us your samples, and please, everybody, give us your comments. Excuse me. By the way, please comment and send us your phone number. We'd love to have you out for a tasting if you're in the Atlanta area. We can have you come out for one of our tastings and be one of our guests. We'll see you later, okay? All right, thanks. Bye.